with each other. So again, to Bull, the president of the DSOBS, and to Gautam, great thanks to them and the teams who worked on this. Thank you, Bull, for creating this wonderful agreement to move this relationship forward. We sometimes joke amongst ourselves that the Doon School success is also the result of good sense prevailing over many individual and collective egos. Despite agreeing to disagree many times, the old boys have somehow always found common ground in the mission to build a strong edifice for the school. Big thanks also to the many previous chairmen of the board members, present committee members, and those who are leading those committees, the former headmasters, and the many who have contributed for the school to be what it is, truly a special place for all of us and for all who walk through these doors. It is an honor for me to be given this responsibility. As Yeats once said, in dreams begin real responsibility. We all have great dreams for the school, and my responsibility begins now. The school has spoken recently of engineering a decisive shift that will help India's best school gain a global reputation and go where no school from India has ever gone before. I fully endorse this approach, and in the next years, we will continue to focus on excellence, even as we develop new initiatives to address the changed and the rapidly changing environment in India and the increasingly connected world. Doon School's biggest strength over the years has been the ability to provide a mix of pedagogy and pastoral care, and this will be encouraged in equal measure. As we continue to focus not just on academics, we will also ensure that the spare time activities give students tremendous exposure to open their minds to all the possibilities that they have in life. Academics, however, will continue to be a focus area, as getting high scores today is an important ingredient of getting into good universities, which is why one of the changes we've made is to bring in the GCSE regulation in the junior classes to make sure the boys are better prepared for the senior classes as they get in there. We are an elite school, we're not elitist. And the reason I say this is an impression which appears to have gone around for a while now, that this is a school only for the privileged. This is a school which could not be further from this impression. The very ethos with which this school was set up and is run today runs quite counter to this. Only yesterday I was talking to Matthew that I'm going to use a line which was used by our first headmaster, but the line got stolen in the debate. I will say this regardless. On this very stage, on this very occasion, the first Founders' Day, Doon School's first headmaster, Arthur Foote, said, and I quote, "The boys should leave the Doon School as members of an aristocracy, but it must be an aristocracy of service, inspired by ideas of unselfishness, not one of privilege, wealth, or position." In the years that I lived on campus, I learned the basic tenets of this aristocracy of service. And only a couple of hours back, in a meeting of the DSOBS, we saw the tremendous amount of work that is being done by the alums of this school across the world. It is truly touching to see what kind of work and the positive impact many of them have on society. And I hope and wish that this noble tradition of service and societal empathy continues. I have two suggestions. First, the school needs to effectively communicate the policy it has on scholarship and bursaries, which are offered to those parents who cannot afford the fees, because the fees need to keep up with the cost of running a school with the kind of facilities that the Doon School has. I think it's important that this message needs to go out in the right spirit. The school being a school that welcomes all, the corpus itself, to ensure that we are able to provide this financial support and scholarships, this corpus must be built enough to ensure this facility is available to all whose children can actually get into the school. Nobody should be not able to get into the school for want of financial capability. As I said, we've tried to hardwire academics into the school, its curriculum, and everything that we do. But there is a need of late for us to help students as they go out beyond school as well. Only recently, a scholarship was tied up with Trinity College Dublin, the details of which will get announced shortly. An important reason why parents send their children to Doon is because their entire time is gainfully and productively used. The school would certainly like to give students many more opportunities to take decisions in what happens in school. They do this in many ways already. We'd like to expand that to help them develop and mature while they're at school itself. We would also like to expose them to experts from different walks of life to come into the school and talk to them. People who are high achievers, such as Ram we have today. We would like to do this on a regular basis, in addition to expanding the program that the school has for exchange programs with schools, other schools overseas, so that we can offer to our students exposure that you may not get here in India, and also to bring students from overseas to see the campus life that we have at Doon School here. As the educational environment evolves, what will separate good institutions from great ones is the ability to attract teaching talent and the right work environment, living conditions, and compensation structures. Our aim, therefore, will be twofold. First, to develop a continuously flowing pipeline of fresh talent, and second, to ensure that our existing talent is constantly upgrading its own knowledge and its skills and capabilities. Doon School's infrastructure is currently not just adequate, it is wonderful. If you've been around the campus, you will see there are very few schools in the world that look like this. A lot of time, effort, and resources have been spent in recent years in building this infrastructure. We will now focus on ensuring that we utilize this infrastructure completely and also provide for its maintenance and upkeep to the best standards and levels. Doon School prides itself on an admission process which is transparent, open, and objective, and based on merit. We would, however, like to expand our reach by going to areas other than from where the students have come right now. We have students from more than 20 states, but we would like to reach out to those from where we do not have students. So we've set up a diversity committee which will specifically focus on bringing students in from other parts of the country. Each one of us wants nothing but the best for the school, and I look forward to working with all of you in this endeavor in the coming years. Before I end, a big thank you to guardians and parents who send their boys to us and entrust them to us here to look after them. We fully appreciate this responsibility. Thank you very much, and all the very best.